people? It's your boy Osman back again with another Manchester United podcast. As you can see from the title, Ten Haag is close to Manchester United. That is the title. That is what we will be discussing today. As always, get your comments in down below. Get your thoughts and let a brother know what you reckon regarding the Manchester United latest news. Of course, as always, with everything that we talk about in the show, none of this is concrete information. This is all speculation. I want to make that very clear from the get-go. I'm not sitting here and comparing. I'm not sitting in and claiming that I'm in the know or anything on those lines. This is just speculation on Twitter. And there's a lot of rumors going around regarding Ten Hag. If anything, there's even rumors saying that Man United linked to certain Ajax players. But Jerry's in the chat here. Has Usman just jumped the gun? Chill, bro. Wait till May. No, I'm not jumping the gun. I like that. I thought you were talking about my guns in it first. And man's a bit hench in that at the moment. But it is what it is. But no jumping the gun at the moment, as the title says. Is Ten Hag close to Manchester United? That is the question for today's show. We will be discussing that, whether the sources are credible or not, and just going through some of the latest talking points, including Shaw's contract, which I mentioned yesterday. Rashford to leave, apparently Jamie Redknapp and Gary Neville are both expecting Rashford to leave this summer, or basically assuming that he should leave for the betterment of his career. Of course, we'll be getting to that as well. Make sure you slap a like, subscribe to the channel. If you like these kind of videos where I just give you a quick update regarding all things Manchester United, feel free to subscribe to his channel for latest updates. As I've already said on yesterday's podcast, if you tune in for that, I am going to be posting every single day this month without a shadow of a doubt. I think it's every day, pretty much every day, every weekday anyways, Monday to Friday, because I've got a bit more free time fasting, so I'm not working as much, taking some time off from work, so alhamdulillah, I'm a bit more available to post daily content, so hopefully I will continue that. Currently on a 2-day spree, so that's fantastic news. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Also follow my socials down below. But anyways, get questions, and if you've got any, feel free to leave them in the comment section afterwards if you're watching this on repeat. So let's start with the first bit of a news story that I've seen from today. Samuel Locker's tweeted this out earlier. So, of course, if you're not aware, Samuel Locker's very credible journalist, probably a tier 1 really for Manchester United news. He basically tweeted out something along the lines of the players are split with the Ten Hag news. Obviously don't want to read into that too much, but the players are split nevertheless, meaning half the players are very happy with Ten Hag potentially coming to Manchester United. On the other hand, half of the players are not happy. They're underwhelmed, so it says on his tweet. Listen, where do I start with this? First things first, right? You explain to me in what universe the players dictate who the new manager is. When does that happen at a football club, that the players dictate who the new manager is? I mean, for me personally, Manchester United is run absolutely disgracefully. Make no mistake about it. But this is just a new low. And what universe do the players think that they have any say in who the new manager should be at Manchester United? The second thing being is, if you are one of those players who's not happy or underwhelmed, so to speak, I'm underwhelmed with your performances. How about that? I'm underwhelmed with your performances throughout the entirety of the season. None of you can really chat to me as a fan of Manchester United Football Club, where I follow this team week in, week out. I'm underwhelmed by your performances. How about that, big man? How about that? Let me flip you onto you. The fact that the players have got the audacity to be complaining about who the next manager is because they're not happy or they're not impressed with their CV. Who are you, man? Who are you? You've done nothing. This is one of the worst seasons I've seen at Manchester United post-Fergie for many different reasons. One being that we actually had genuine hope and we actually believed that useless players actually had the capabilities of achieving something this season. A trophy at the bare minimum. Top 4 wasn't even in my thought process. Top 4 was a given. But somehow you messed up both. You not only have you embarrassed us and not got top 4, but you've not won a trophy, which goes without saying is 5 years on the bounce. But the fact that some of the players are coming out and saying ridiculous statements that they're not happy with the potential appointment of Ten Hag, for me, is absolutely pathetic. I want those players named and shamed, and I want them sold, because for me, you're the issue, not the new manager. We've had, some of you have had Jose Mourinho, Van Gaal, Oli, Carrick, I don't count, but Ranić. You've had 5 managers. Some of you have been here through 5 managers, and you still ain't done nothing to appease the fans in any way, shape, or form. No one's been consistent within that 5-manager period. None of you can sit there with chest and say, you know what? I've actually earned the right to have an opinion on this matter, because all of you are being piss poor. Make no mistake about it, favourites aside. None of you can say anything. So for me, it's very simple. If you're complaining about the new manager, you've done us a favor, because you've highlighted that you are not ready to. You are not going to buy into the new process or the new philosophy, new direction of where the new manager is taking us. So you've done us a favor, anything, by highlighting that you need to get sold, because we cannot continue with having players that are on board with a manager or whatever it may be. You're not on board with the process. You're not on board with the project or whatever it is, man. Just get lost, sold, dip. Just get rid of him, please. Honest to God, absolutely embarrassing. And when I saw that, I was like, how have you got the cheek to be complaining? Honest to God, shout out to Nippon, always showing me love. Players need a reality check. Facts. The irony is the shocking player, I can't swear, I'm fasting, are the ones complaining. I mean, we don't know which players are complaining, but this statement is true anyways, because most of them are pretty much SHIT. I mean, most of them fall in that category anyway, so it's complete truth that the irony is that you're complaining about another manager and potentially him not being able to, do anything to affect the team in a positive way when you lot are doing absolutely nothing whatsoever to affect the team in a positive way. So for me, get rid of him. Absolute embarrassment. Let me know what you lot think regarding that matter. But yeah, listen, let's get into the main talking point of the stream. As you can see from the title, Manchester United close to Ten Haag. Is the deal done? Question mark. Look, for me personally, like I said, I'm not in the know. I'm not claiming to be in the know. I'm not claiming to have any sources. Let me make that very clear. This is my personal thoughts, my personal opinion. There's a lot of speculation going around on Twitter at the moment. Fabrizio Romano's that come out and said it, but a lot of other journalists, some very credible Ajax journalists, Tier 1 journalists that I follow, forgotten his name to be fair, but they've also come out and they're kind of leaning towards Ten Hag coming to Man United as well. A lot of them are kind of subtly saying that Manchester United and Ten Hag is a thing. For me personally, I don't think we're going to know until the end of the season, realistically speaking, or towards the back end of the season. I mean, I suppose that's not too far away, but the reason being is Ajax are in they're in the title race. They're competing with PSV. There's no way they're going to come out and say our manager's leaving at the end of the season. Although a lot of the consensus within the Ajax fan base is that he is going to Manchester United. The consensus in Holland as well, with their media as well, a lot of them are reporting that he's on his way to Manchester United. So for me, I'm fairly confident that we have secured Ten Hag. At the end of the day, if we don't secure Ten Hag, we've got Podge. So either or, we've got one of them. So I'm not too mad about it. But for me, I do think Ten Hag to Manchester United is a likely outcome. It just seems like too much people are speaking about it. Granted, some of these are probably doing it for clicks, tweets, or likes, whatever it may be. And I understand that as well. That's the nature of the beast. But for me personally, there's too much smoke without there being any fire. So I personally think it's a done deal. However, I know this sounds like a cop-out, but I don't think it's going to be announced anytime soon. I mean, it could be a done deal behind closed doors and announced closer to the end of the season. Like I said, they don't want to potentially disrupt Ajax's season. They are currently in a title race. And for me, it would be absolutely ridiculous if an announcement was made by Manchester United during the next part of the season, which could potentially derail the players. So I don't know. That's just me personally. I don't know if there's any truth to any of that. I personally think there is, but that's just me. Or any Dutch journalists reporting it on this. There are a few. I haven't got my phone. Well, I have got my phone here actually. I don't know why I keep showing people look at me, I've got a phone. But yeah, so there's a few credible Ajax pages. So if I can just quickly get them up. But whilst I'm getting them up, if you've got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. As always, please do slap a like on the video. As I've already said, trying to be more consistent with the content. So hopefully we can get towards that. So yeah, let me see if I can find someone that is credible from the Ajax front. There was a couple that did report it. Obviously, they got big followings on Twitter and all that good stuff. So for me personally, I do feel that there is truth in the speculation, and I feel like other reports coming out as well. There's quite a few as well since prior for me to coming on that Manchester United are also linked to Ajax defender Jurriën Timber, centre back and right back. Predominantly plays centre back, but can play right back as well. So for me, the fact that there's already speculation regarding players that we are signing that are, of course, currently at Ajax as well it's almost like another sort of indication, that's the word. Indication that Manchester United have got Ten Hag, and if not all, close to Ten Hag. Again, this speculation could all be false. But for me personally, I think there's definitely truth in there. That's like I said, Julian Timber, centre back currently for Ajax. For me, okay, he's extremely short, which is the one thing that I'm seeing everyone saying on Twitter at the moment, which is definitely it's factual. I think he's very, very important to the way Ten Hag wants to start attacks. He is a very much a ball-playing centre-back, a modern-day centre-back, so to speak, very athletic, very quick on the ground. But his aerial presence potentially could be an issue in the Premier League, potentially a lack of physicality there as well, or in terms he may struggle. But for me personally, I think he would be a good signing. I'm not 100% sure if he's the guy to take us forward in terms of really elevating the defence. But like I said, if Ten Hag is to come to Manchester United, we need to make sure we trust him in terms of buying the players that suit his style of play rather than going for players who are big names. And if he wants Timber, then by all means back it and bring him with Ten Hag. So Ten Hag obviously would believe in him if that is the case. If Ten Hag would obviously trust him as a centre back, and hopefully it would mean Maguire was on the bench. But the fact that I mean, there's too much hypotheticals here, but I'm gonna throw one out there. But the fact that we are linked to a centre back is a massive positive. Again, this could be complete false rumours, but it's a positive because for me personally, if we do not buy a centre back and a CDM moving into the next season, we may as well forget about it from the get-go. It's absolutely crucial that we get a DM and a centre back. As Sam is saying, you guys badly need a controller in midfield, bro. Absolute facts, my guy. You guys have got Casemiro, Toni Kroos, and obviously Modric, obviously with what's his name again? The guy that Man United wanted, I've forgotten his name. Obviously, Real Madrid got a few players that we want. Camavinga, that's the one. You got Camavinga now as well. Real Madrid. So yeah, we need a couple of players in the middle of the park as well. Probably two midfield as well. But yeah, in terms of Timber as well, I think for me, it'd be a good addition. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, he's a world beater. He's only 20. He's a young prospect. But I'm open for us trying to get these gems, these younger players. Although he's not a gem in this sense because he is well known to Ten Hag. But I'm more open to getting these cheaper, younger prospects that we could potentially nurture. And hopefully have a bit of promise. For me personally, this 29 and over route, I'm not really a big fan of it. I think we need to just go back to be fair to Ollie, he was doing the right thing by buying younger players, but he just got a bit carried away towards the end of his tenure. But yeah, for me personally, it's a good sign. It does kind of make me lean towards the fact that Ten Hag is on his way to United. There's too much speculation, like I said, too much smoke, and too many players linked to Man United, daughter of Ten Hag's style of players, so to speak. But yeah, moving away from Timber, another player, of course, is Anthony, who's been linked heavily to Manchester United, of course, currently at Ajax as well. Also an attacking player, plays right wing, in fact. Yeah, for me personally, look, I'm a fan of his. I'm not going to lie. He's a young prospect, again, similar to Timber. He's got the world at his feet, and he's got the capabilities of actually being a very good player. I like his style of play. He's a very creative winger. Similar to Morris in that sense, in terms of where he's a bit more creative. He's got a bit of flair about him, and he's starting to add goals to his game, which he's done this season to an extent. And I think that's important for the modern day winger, so to speak. They need to be able to get into positions to score. And from the last games of which I've seen of him, I think he's definitely tried to work on that. He's getting into more dangerous areas where he can hurt the opposition. The game. Where he scored in the 85th minute, I forgot who they played against, but they won 3-2. Not so long. Not the game just happened this week, the one prior to the international break. They scored 3-2. He won. He scored the win at 3-2. And he had a couple of chances in that game where he probably should have done better, but he was getting to more attacking positions in the final third where he had an opportunity to shoot. So it's a good sign for a young player to try and obviously improve that aspect of his game. And I think he would be a fantastic signing. Potentially could get him and Timber for fairly decent value. 50 to 60 million for the both of them would be fairly good business, to be honest. Not something we can say a lot of. But for me personally, it's all about what the manager wants. I mean, Ralph Rangnick has come out and said a statement earlier today, which I put on Twitter, basically saying something along the lines of Liverpool and Manchester City, it took them a long period of time to really obviously get to where they are today, obviously grown, and they're growing the right way. Look, you look at Liverpool, they had Klopp for a long period now. when Klopp first came in, it took him 3 years to really establish himself in the Premier League. In the fourth season, they won the Champions League. And in those 3 years span prior to him eventually having success, you've got to look at it in the sense that they had an opportunity to build, but most importantly, they signed players to suit the system. And that's something that Manchester United have not done. And Ralph was completely spot on when he said that it's integral that Man United start signing players, whoever the manager is, Poch or Ten Hag, they start signing the players with the plan of the manager in mind, basically saying, make sure you buy players to suit the system of the manager. I think that's something that we definitely have not done. I don't really know what the system was under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Jose, to be honest, but whatever the manager wants and they feel like they suit their system to a T, bring that player in. I think it's extremely important that Manchester United as a club now start to operate as a football club and not as a business. Until we do that, we will never move forward. You saw with Chelsea signing Romelu Lukaku for 100 million from Inter Milan. That is a very typical Manchester United signing. Of course, we did sign him from Everton, but that is the signing that Man United would do. And then look what's happened to Lukaku at Chelsea. It's been an absolute flop. And then you look at it, Lukaku's openly come out and said, I don't see the Chelsea system whatsoever. And then you look at it from the perspective of Tuchel, he doesn't know where to play him. He doesn't suit the way he wants to play. And it's just a signing that didn't really need to happen. 100 million pound signing, that kind of player, you need to be only putting that money down for players that are definitely going to come into your system and they're going to work within your system. You don't need to change your system too much for that person to thrive. And I think it's extremely important that us as a club, moving forward, only buy players to suit the next manager's philosophy and for them to actually be integrated into that philosophy seamlessly, because it's perfect for them, so to speak. So yeah, for me personally, I thought Ralph was absolutely spot on regarding that matter. Again, Ralph kind of talking about the recruitment process, and for me, I think it's extremely integral that Ralph is a part of that process. He speaks a good game, absolutely. There's no denying that, but his track record and his CV speaks for itself. He's got a fantastic track record of unearthing gems, but in particular, he's got a brilliant record of running clubs the way they should be run. He's a football man. He knows his stuff. He's got contacts within the business and within the field of work. And for me, the reason I was excited for Ralph's appointment was because of what he's capable of doing upstairs. Reports coming out again in the last couple of days suggesting that Ralph isn't going to have the power that we first initiated, assumed that he would have. Again, the board, the owners are mugging off United fans. The only reason we would have wanted Ralph realistically was his capabilities of recruitment, his capabilities of bringing people in, his ability to have, the best intention of the club at heart. He's a football man. He wants to actually improve the team. Just some of the stuff that he's saying as well. I just agree with a lot of what he's saying, and I feel like he actually has the right intentions at Manchester United and trying to improve the club and take the club forward and try to take us back to where we belong. However, the other people, the bankers, etc., they don't really care for those matters, and also they don't really have the experience to really take the club forward. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the board appoint Fletcher. They have appointed Fletcher, but they give that authority and that responsibility to Fletcher. A person has got absolutely no experience whatsoever, and also a person who has nothing to do with that field of work. He just doesn't know what he's doing. He's completely clueless. He's a yes man. He would be yes man. And for me, it would be a mistake, and we love making mistakes. So I won't be surprised if Ranieri does leave, and I won't be surprised if Fletcher is in charge in the very foreseeable future. So for me, it's not looking great. Give Ralph the keys, man. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Give him the keys, let him do his thing, bring Ten Hag in, let them be cohesively together, and hopefully we can get Man United back on track. But yeah, speaking of back on track, oh God, Luke Shaw, man. I kind of mentioned this on yesterday's show, but Luke Shaw contract talk seems to be hotting up. Again, speculation, but the rumours are heating up, people. The rumours are heating up about Luke Shaw potentially signing a new contract until 2025. I mean, what has he done to warrant that new contract? What has Luke Shaw done to warrant that new contract? I can't believe it. This club is so backwards. It's unbelievable. They reward failure. They reward players with new contracts that have been absolutely abysmal. And again, it comes back to what I said yesterday. What's to say the new manager wants Luke Shaw? What's to say the new manager wants Bruno Fernandes? What's to say the new manager wants Rashford? Why are we offering contracts to players when we haven't even got a manager in place? Why are we doing that? It just doesn't make sense. I mean, for me personally, Luke Shaw should be sold. I mean, we need to start bringing in new players. I would give Alvaro Fernandez an opportunity. If Shaw's injured, Just give Alvaro Fernandez a chance at left back. I mean, he can't do any worse than Telles Ocho. Let's be real. He's a young, hungry fullback, and he's got a lot of promise. So for me, I would just throw him in for the last couple of weeks because it doesn't seem like we're playing for much as it currently stands. So that's just me. That's my personal opinion. But obviously, let me know your thoughts on that. And last but not least, Marcus Rashford. Heavily linked with a move away from Manchester United. It hasn't really been reported on who and what team. But most outlets are saying that Rashford potentially could be on his way out. Jamie Redknapp on Sky Sports actually says along the lines of Rashford's on his way out. He should leave Manchester United, basically find a new calling. Abdullah actually is just coming clutch here. With a report, obviously, which is what I mentioned prior, Eric Ten Haag wants to take Julian Timber with him to Manchester United. Mike Verwege, that's the guy, via the European Lad podcast. Yeah, that was the guy. Very credible journalist, alongside a couple other people that I've reported as well. Thank you, Abdullah. Shout out to you, my guy. I appreciate you. He also was the one that reported on Ten Hag to Man United being basically a done deal. So yeah, there's a few credible journalists coming out and speaking regarding the matter. And for me personally, I think it's done. The fact that we're linked to Ajax players, it just says everything you need to know. I mean, I'm happy with the fact that it's a centre back. Not getting too carried away. You never know with Manchester United, we can always fumble the bag, but I'm confident that there's a potential deal to be made with Ten Hag. And at the end of the day, if I look back at this in 2 weeks and we get Pochettino, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I have gone early, as Jerry said, but I basically think it's done. But coming back to Marcus Rashford, what are you guys' thoughts? Let me know down below. Do you think it's time for Rashford to move on? For me personally, I just want to see how he gets on under the new manager. But I think give him one more season. And see how he fares. But if his heart's not in it, let him go. It's as simple as that. A lot of those players, the heart's not in it. They're not feeling the new manager, whatever it may be. Just get rid of him. It's time that we started to clear out the players, started to clear out some players that have been here for a long period of time, Rashford included in that. As well as, players like Marcus Rashford have been here for a long period, 4 or 5 years now. And if it's not working out for him, sometimes it's just not meant to be. I wish him all the best. Potentially sell him with a buyback clause. I think that would be a good shout. I think that would be a good shout for me personally. Obviously, can't loan him out. We've loaned out Martial actually, which is a bit strange now that I think about it. But nevertheless, Marcus Rashford, what do you guys think? Should we sell him? Should we let him go? For me, I would keep him one more season, see how it fares. But if his heart's not in it, let him go. But yeah, just a quick recap on the story of the title. Ten Hag to Manchester United. Oh God! Listen, don't worry. Alhamdulillah, I'm happy, bro. I'm happy deep down. Listen, Ramadano's got my smiling. Don't worry, bro, man. Don't worry, okay. Alhamdulillah. Hopefully your Ramadan's going well, my brother. Hopefully it's going well. I'm sure you're very happy. It must be nice being a Liverpool fan, winning everything and all that. Mother lovers. But yeah, Alhamdulillah, always blessed my Ramadan. I can't complain. But yeah, just to come back on the title of the video, is Ten Hag to Manchester United done deal? For me personally, I think there's so much smoke. And there's got to be a bit of fire. There's got to be a bit of truth to all the speculation, all the rumors surrounding Manchester United. Oh God, Hussam, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. But yeah, there's got to be a bit of truth with Ten Hag coming to Man United. But as I said on yesterday's show, in fact, I tweeted this morning actually. Why would Ten Hag and Poch come to Manchester United? Just before I wrap it up and stuff, I was just having this thought, right? If you're Ten Hag and you're Pochettino, why would you come to Manchester United? I don't understand. I just don't get it. A report saying that Ten Hag is absolutely buzzing to come to Man United and he's happy, etc. It is what it is. But why? Why are you happy to come? We are the definition of a poison challenge. We're a club on our knees, and we have got everything. We've got everything that you could hope that doesn't happen to your club. Every bad thing that could possibly happen. We've got piss poor owners, poor recruitment, a squad of players that don't want to be here, a squad of players that are massively overpaid, a squad of players that don't really put in effort. A lot of them don't want to flipping wear the shirt. Just bankers in charge. I mean, so many issues. Honest to God, alhamdulillah, no complaints. Good to hear, my guy. So, Mr. Osman, Poch v Ten Hag, it's a split decision. I mean, for me personally, I want Ten Hag, but as I've said, if Pochettino comes in, I don't think he can fix this mess. Ten Hag comes in, I don't think that he can fix the mess either, to be honest. I've gone to a point now that I just don't even think the manager's the problem. I know I was Oli out and I've said it. Maybe I was wrong about Oli, who knows? But for me personally, I mean, I wasn't wrong about Oli, but for me personally, The issue is always going to be the board. At the end of the day, the way that we are run as a football club, the fact that there's actually speculation that Pogba might get a 400 grand contract, Lord have mercy. Like, I mean, I love Pogba. Everyone knows me, knows I love Pogba, but he's not worth that money. He's just not worth that money. And for me, coming back to the managers, I don't think either are going to be successful until we get a proper structure in charge. Nuruddin has been saying it for so long. Without the structure, Manchester United are always going to fail. Without the structure, Manchester United are always going to fail as a football club. It does not matter. We can sign Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho, and we're still failing. If anything, we've gone backwards with those 3 additions. There's too many issues at the club, and it has to be ripped up and started again. I don't think Poch or Ten Hag have got the capabilities to really get us back to where we belong. I do think Poch, to be fair to him, in his defense, has rebuilt, several teams at Spurs, and Ten Hag as well has rebuilt several teams at Ajax. So that is a massive positive for both of them coming into this. It's just going to take too much work, to be honest. I just don't think it's a quick fix, and I don't think the fans have patience. I believe if Poch or Ten Hag came in, they'll probably be hounded out within half a season because the results will be poor. But the results will be poor because the same players are still here. We need a new 25-man squad for me personally. At least 20 man of them need to get replaced before we actually step forward. But Abdullah, Alhamdulillah, Salam, Ramadan Mubarak. Abdullah, thank you for posting the quotes of. I should have probably got that myself, but it is what it is. Hopefully, Palace say football later, bro. Absolutely. Obviously, Man United out of the top 4 race. I mean, we're just not in it, are we? We're absolutely embarrassing. But it's always nice to see Arsenal, fans crying as well. Ten Hag with Sinkos. I mean, I do think it's a big job for Ten Hag. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, look, it's all, he hasn't got any flaws or there's not anything about him that worries me. Absolutely. I keep saying the word absolutely, and it doesn't make sense. It's a massive job for either of the guys. But for me, Ten Hag, without Premier League experience, is more for risk than Poch. I think Poch is more for safe bet. But I just feel like with Ten Hag, high risk, high reward. I feel like there's a bigger risk, but there's a bigger potential for reward with him because of the way he plays football and the fact that he actually creates a lot of players in terms of, produces a lot of talent. A lot of the Ajax team, they're not wholesale names. He has produced. He's produced a lot of talent at Ajax alongside the structure there as well, but they've got phenomenal structure as well. So would he even work at Man United because we haven't got the structure? So for me, it's going to be difficult. And let me rephrase it. If Poch comes in, would you be disappointed? Oh, sorry, I should have. Disappointed. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie now because I've said I would be disappointed if Pochettino comes in. I just don't think it's the right time for Pochettino. And I felt this under Jose. I felt when we got Jose Mourinho, it was that 3 seasons too late. We should have got Jose Mourinho in 2013. As soon as Sir Alex Ferguson retired, Jose Mourinho should have came in, and I thought Jose Mourinho would have won us the title if he came at that time. We ended up getting him 3 years too late for me personally. And I feel the same about Pochettino. I feel like we should have got Pochettino after Jose Mourinho, but we gave it to Ali, and he's coming too late basically as well. He's 3 years too late. Obviously, PSG is a poison child similar to Man United, so it's hard to really criticize him for what goes on at PSG because a lot of managers don't really do well. That even Tuchel didn't particularly do well. I thought Tuchel was a flop as well, to be fair, and he's proved me wrong to an extent at Chelsea. But yeah, for me, I would be a bit disappointed with Pochettino. I just think it's an extremely safe bet. I also think the board want Pochettino. I'm hearing a lot of the fans want Pochettino. For me, straight away, that's 2 red flags. The fact that the board want Pochettino is a massive red flag. I do not want the board to be happy. I need the board to be out of their comfort zone because at the moment, all the employees, yes men, and Pochettino, if they're happy with him, it just shows me that he just fits their plan. And to be honest, he would be the perfect manager for the Glazers. I mean, he did pretty well at Tottenham Hotspur on a shoestring budget. So yeah, for me personally, I won't be happy with Pochettino. Ten Hag, on the other hand, a lot of the players don't want him. So for me, that's a yes straight away. If the players don't want you, that means you need to come in because the players need to do one. The manager's not the issue. The players are quite clearly the problem. So for me, we just need to get Ten Hag. I would be disappointed with Poch. To answer that, Ten Hag, more tactic, fast gameplay. Listen, there's flaws with both managers and pros and cons with both. Obviously, Ten Hag is better at some things than Poch, and Poch is better at some things than Ten Hag, and vice versa. I prefer Ten Hag. Fair play. My bro, even in Ramadan, step. What? Even in Ramadan, step. putting content out. Still putting content out. I think that's what that's meant to say. I hope it. Well, we shared YouTube into every show, so I assume that's what I meant to say. But thank you as always for the support, people. As I said yesterday, even if 20, 30 people turn up and watch and support the content, I will continue to put it out. I've got a lot more free time now, so I'm really dedicated to putting out more content on the channel and inshallah potentially growing back up to where I was in terms of viewership. But time will tell. But that aside, hopefully Man United can actually improve on the pitch. I would sell 10 players, bro. That's a bit generous. I would sell 20. I would sell at least 15. Honest to God, I'm not gonna lie. I'm selling 15, man. 10 is too little. I'm not gonna lie. 10 is too little. Let's have a look. I'm gonna go through them. You lot, let me know if I missed one. So start with Dean Henderson. Let's start with the goalkeeper. So Dean Henderson, I'll sell him. Tellez, sell. Luke Shaw, sell. Maguire, sell. Probably sell Bailly because he's not gonna get a chance and he's never fit, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Phil Jones, sell. That's 6. I'd probably keep Lindelof as the 3rd centre back, if not the 4th. So that's 6. Varane I'd keep. Who else is there? Twan Sabi, sell. Move on to right back. Wan-Bissaka, sell. Delo, I'll keep him as a backup, but he's not first team for me. He's had his opportunity and he's done okay, but not enough. So that's 9 already. Moving to midfield, McTominay, sell. Absolute no-brainer. Matic, I mean, he's getting on. He's still our best player. But yeah, sell. Pogba's going, so technically sell. Although he's leaving on a free, that's 12. Who else is in the middle of the park? I mean, Bruno, you could probably keep him. Right wing, Amad Diallo, I'd keep him, give him a proper loan this time. What he's doing at Rangers, I don't know, but it's an absolute shambles. Jesse Lingard, sell, 13. Who else is there? Cavani's going, 14. Martial, Rashford, what do you do with them? One of them's going, so I'll just say 15. I don't know which one. Martial, Rashford, one of them's definitely going. That's 15 players off the top of my head. Cristiano Ronaldo, arguably, that's selling as well. So 16 players off the top of my head. I might have missed one out. Obviously, feel free to let me know. About 16 players, if not 15. Easily get rid. They're all those 15 players I mentioned. Oh, Mata. How did I forget about him? Mata as well. He needs to go as well. So yeah, 16 players at least that they need to go. We need to bring players in because for me personally, the squad is riddled with past managers mentality, past managers players philosophy, a DNA, whatever it may be, and also it's riddled of too many. It's just too separate. There's no real. Oh, this squad is built for counter-attacking football. This squad is built for passing football, where possession-based football. Sorry, there's no real plan with that squad, and that needs to be ripped and started again, which is what I said earlier when Ralph said that we need to buy players to suit a system. It's important that we do that, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to restart basically. So much dead will still at the club after all these years, absolutely. Hendo, Shaw, Jones, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, McTominay, Fred, Matic, Lingard, Rashford and Bailly. I mentioned 16, so you haven't even put Matter in there, AK, bro. Matter needs to go. K-Slayer, hopefully you're doing well. Jared, my guy, hopefully you're doing well. So we both know many should be sold, but logically, how many are you actually thinking will be sold this summer? Obviously, Lingard, Pogba, Cavani will leave on their own. I mean, that's an extremely good question. I don't know. That's the thing. It's very difficult to foresee what's going to happen. It depends on if Ralph has actually got any power, because I feel like if Ralph is in charge, I do think he will let some of these players go, but I would like to think 7. For me, in an ideal world, or realistic world, should I say, 7, including the players that are going on a free. 7 out, 5 in at least. When I say 5 in, I'm not saying 5 for the bench. I'm saying 5 to come into the first team. 5 players to come into the first team. A centre back, a CDM, them 2 have to come in. A centre mid, so 3 players, them 3 have to come and play week in, week out. A full back, right or left back, take your pick. I'll take both, preferably. So that's 5, and potentially a right winger because Sancho's gone on the left. So we need 6 players at least, to be honest. Or you could obviously throw a striker. We need a lot of players. Let's not make a mistake about it. But I said 7 out at least and 5 in. 5 that come into the starting 11, play week in, week out, and the other people go into the bench. And I think for me, that would be a good summer window. Of course, that is asking a lot of this board, and I don't think it's feasible, and I don't think it's achievable as well. But it's going to be a crazy window for us, and if we are going to try to take the right steps and try to turn this around, we need to make some drastic changes, and that's the only way that Manchester United can move forward. Pogba, Cavani, Ronaldo, Mata all out of contract. I don't think Ronaldo is out of contract, but with his contract, he gets to choose when he terminates it. So technically, he could stay another season, but again, that would be on his own merit or own principle. I don't even know what the word I'm talking about. Ronaldo will go because no Champions League. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want Cristiano Ronaldo to go. I think it's time that we stopped relying on 35-plus-year-olds. I mean, Cavani's been never present this season, but Ronaldo is 37. He's going to be 38. And 38 next season, which is absolutely ridiculous. He should not be leading the line for Manchester United in the Premier League. It's as simple as that. I love the guy to bits. He's done his job in terms of goal return. He's come back. He's added a couple of more goals. I would imagine he wants to get that 100 club. He's very close, I believe. So he needs a few more goals to achieve that. But yeah, nevertheless, for me, it's time that we start moving on a lot of players. And we actually start taking risks. We start taking risks. We start making wholesale changes. That's the only way Manchester United are going to move forward. But listen, we're going to wrap you up there. Just to recap, a quick summary, whatever you want to call it. Ten Hag to Manchester United. Is it a done deal? Yes or no? For me, I do not think it's a done deal thus far, but I do believe strongly that it is going to happen. There's a lot of smoke, and with smoke, there's always fire. And I think with all the speculation going on at the moment, I think Ten Hag is going to be the next Manchester United manager. I would be extremely happy with that. Of course, I will keep you up to date as the days go along. And also, I will continue to give you my thoughts as the days go along. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be back with another podcast, depending on the news and all that good stuff. And just quickly to answer this as well. Which youth players does everyone see given a chance next season? Garner, Twansebi, Mejri, McNeil, Levitt. What we're thinking. For me, you didn't mention one of the ones that I want to get given a chance. Alvaro Fernandez. I think for me, I'd sell Tellez or Shaw. I don't know which one. It sounds like Shaw might get a new contract. So Tellez, get rid and bring Alvaro Fernandez into the first team because I think he's more than capable. He's more than capable of offering something to this team. And I know Brandon Williams came through and he didn't really, show what he's about. He had a good burst initially, but he kind of fell away on the wayside. But Alvaro Fernandez, for me, from what I've seen, I think he looks a talent. Twansebi, I don't know how he's got on in his loan, to be honest. Hannibal Mejri is an absolute baller. Similar to how Gomez was when we let him go. I do think Hannibal has a future at Manchester United. And I actually want to see him being phased into the team towards the back end of this season. There's not much to play for at the moment, especially if we start dropping a few more points in the coming weeks. I want to see some of the youth players get a chance. Led, again, another prospect. Of course, he plays right back. And for me, we definitely need a more attacking right back, so potentially he could. McNeil, I don't know if he's ready yet. Goal scorer always gets an opportunity, don't get me wrong, but don't think he's ready. Regarding Levitt, I'm not 100% sure on him. I don't know enough about it. I've not watched enough of him. And Garner, I know he's doing well at Nottingham Forest. I think another loan for Garner in the Premier League, and then he would be ready for Manchester United to take that step up potentially. I don't really want to bring him back unless he's guaranteed to play week in, week out. I feel like his development is going quite well at Nottingham Forest, and I feel like if they get promoted, obviously definitely let him stay at Nottingham Forest for another season. I think that goes without saying. But yeah, for me, I think Garner definitely has the potential alongside Hannibal Mejri. Alvaro Fernandez, Garnacho as well looks a talent as well, but don't think next season he'll be ready. Alvaro Fernandez, I think probably give him some minutes at the end of the season alongside Hannibal. So yeah, that's my personal opinion regarding the matter. But anyways, all our players are getting overpaid. I mean, that just sums it up. I mean, they're massively getting overpaid. The fact that Luke Shaw is getting a new contract and a pay rise just makes me physically sick. But listen, I'm going to wrap it up there. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has tuned in. As always, feel free to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in down below if you're watching this on repeat. Support your boy, spread the content, all that good stuff. Show your dad, show your granddad, show your dog. Just help a brother out. I'm trying to post as much as I possibly can in the next couple of weeks to try and stay as consistent as we can. But listen, apart from that, feel free to check me out on Twitter. My socials are on the screen. Usman Talk United. No, not Usman Talks with an S. Sadly, I lost my account. I'm sure most of you know anyways. But yeah, sadly, I had to remake my Twitter about 7 times now. Yeah, so feel free to check me out on Twitter, Instagram as well. And also TikTok, which is where I post probably the most in terms of content. I probably post that once or twice a day on TikTok. So feel free to check me out there. All football content, all that good stuff. But apart from that, it's been your boy, man. Thank you as always for tuning in. Drop a like.